So fine, let's start, guys. So today we are going to start the concept called file handling. Okay, so it's called file handling. Fine. So till now we have seen different concepts, right? So, but all of those concepts should be applied on some data, right? Some data, and that data you will be importing it, right? You will be taking it from some source, right? So that data might be in different shape and forms. Okay, it might be in text file, okay, .txt file, or it can be in some csv file, okay, or it might be in some excel file, okay, or sometimes it will be in image file, okay, image or png or jpeg, okay. So, in some shape you should, in some format you should be accepting the input data. Okay, fine. So for that reason you need to study this concept called as file handling, because you need to understand how you can take the input or open a file or read a file, write a file, or close a file for that matter. Okay, so that is the first step. So where you are trying to access the data, right? So let's see. So this is in python, right? When you are studying next pandas, right? So there it will be much more easy for you to access, especially the csv files. Okay, so now we'll be generally seeing like how what all you can do with text files mostly. Okay, .txt files. Fine, so let's start. Yeah, so initially let's see. So yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, so there's a simple way just to write a file, right? So you can just write percentage write file. Okay, test some file name you can give .txt. Okay, and inside this you can write some matter. Okay, so with that, okay, with that, yeah. So with this name test zero, a file will be created. Okay, um, yeah. So before that, initially every time you need to know like where exactly your this python file, okay, the jupyter notebook file is located. Okay, because whatever you do, or if you save a file, it will be saved in the same location. Fine. So to find out the present location, okay, where this notebook is available, you can do two things. One is you can do import os and do os is operating system. Okay, os dot get cwd, that means get current working directory. Okay, if you do that, it will show you. Like, so I am currently situated at c users dell downloads meet ai zoom notebook. Okay, so I'm in mostly in I'm in downloads meet ai notebook. Okay, or you can also do as pwd. Okay, present working directory, it will tell you. So now when I try to save this, so if you see here, so I'm in downloads meet ai zoom notebook. So if you see here, as you can see, test0.txt. Okay, as you can see here, a minute ago this is created. Okay, so 2 minutes ago test0.txt is what it is generated. Okay, so if I open this, so the data in it is hello, this is a quick text file. Okay, so I have written the same thing, hello, this is a quick text file. See, if I again write something, what's happening, it is overwriting the test zero. So now if I go and refresh it, so you can see the latest data what am I writing over here. Okay, in the test0.txt. Okay, so that is a simple way. So that is a just very basic way, just if you want to instantly create a small text file, right, without following any rules and regulations, you can just do it. Okay, after that, now let's see them. actual concepts or regarding a file. Okay, first thing comes like opening a file. Okay, so here the concept will be, let's say you have a file. Okay, let's say you have a file located somewhere in local. So what are the operations usually we would like to do on this file? We would like to read something. Okay, write something, correct, or delete something, right? So I think we can do only these things, right? So you can write, you can read it what you have written, or you can delete, correct? So yeah, you can do all of these things. So but to do these things, first of all the file should be in open state. Okay, first of all the file should be in open state, right? So just think of this like an actual book, right? So if you want to read a book, right, first of all you should open the book, right? You should open and see the pages, right? Without doing that you cannot read or write, or at least if it without delete obviously you can do, but read and write is possible only when you open, right? So here the open will also be one command, right? First of all you should open a file, okay, for you to able to access. After that, once a file is opened, then you can go for reading it or you can go for writing it. Okay, and also there are like different ways how you can read and write. Okay, we are going to see everything. Fine. So first thing you should always remember is to do any operations. Okay, for you to do something on a file, the file should be in the open state. Okay, then only you can perform something. Okay, on a closed file you cannot do anything. Okay, fine. So now let's see. First step is to open the file. Okay. So the way the command, the simple command to open a file is this: f equal to file name and mode. Okay. F equal to open file name and mode. Now open is the main word, and inside that you need to give what is your file name and which mode you want to open it. Okay. Now let's see what are these modes. There are different types of modes as you can see here. R for read, W write, A append, R place read and write, W place write and read, okay, A place append and read, okay, X open for write. Okay, so now what does this mean? So whenever you are trying to open a file, as I have just told you, okay, let's say you have a file, okay. Now you can do, as I said, you can do anything. You can read, for example, simply let me take simple case. You can do read and write. Okay. So for that, the file should be in which state? Obviously, it should be in open state. Okay. But now here, the point here is how you are opening is also important. Okay. You cannot simply open it. You should always attach a mode when you are opening it. Okay. That means if you are opening it in read mode, that means your intention is to read the file. Okay. If you are opening the file in read mode, that means your intention is only to read the file. So it will give you only read access. You cannot write it because when you are opening itself, you are given the mode as read. Okay. Similarly, if you are opening it in the write mode, okay, that means you are telling, hey, I want to write something in this file. So the Python interpreter will give you only write access. It will not allow you to read. Okay. Because sometimes you want to give a right access to some third person, okay, but you don't want to read it, okay, because let's say this file is having what details of all the other students. Okay, let's say there are like uh, 10 students, okay, in a class, and everybody is writing in the same file. Okay, student 1 has written, student 2 has written, student 3 has written. Let's say student 6 is writing something, okay, to the same file is writing his details, right? So that's why you will be giving him write access so that he can write, but you're not giving read access to any one of these students because you don't want to disclose the details of any student. So nobody will know what is inside this file, right? Because they cannot read it, but everybody can only write it. Okay, so when you're writing, you don't know what is inside the file. You are just giving whatever you want to write. Okay, this guy will say, hey, my name is this, my address is this, my okay, my section is this. Okay, that's all. So he's just writing, he's only giving his input, what needs to be written into the file. Okay, and that will be written into the file. And what else is there in this file, this guy has no knowledge because he cannot read it. Same thing applies for all the other students. Okay, so in some scenarios, only write access is needed. There is no need for read access. Okay, in some scenarios you just want to read it. Okay, okay, you don't want the write access. Okay, so like that, right? So in, but in some cases, if you want to do both, so you have read and write, write and read. Okay, like that. Are you getting this, the theory?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now let's see. So as I said, this will be like this file handling concept itself, it will be very very simple. Okay, so there will be absolutely no difficulty for you guys to understand. Okay, but this is very very important. Okay, simple but important concepts. It's not like uh, nothing like any hard things to remember. Okay, but let's see. So initially, first of all, let me what I will do. I have just created what test0.txt, right? So I will use test0.txt. Okay. First of all, I want to read. If I want to read, I want to open in the R mode. Okay. So let me do R. So that's done. And let's say f dot read. Okay, there is a function to read to the file also that we are going to see in detail when we are discussing how to read. So now we are still opening the file. Okay, but just I'm letting you know if at all I want to read. So now what I have done here, I have opened this file in the read mode. Okay, and into this variable. Okay, now this file is opened for reading purpose only, and it is now stored in F. Okay, now this file, this test0 is available in this F. Okay, and available for what? Available for only reading purpose, nothing else, because you can see here R. Okay, that should be clear. So now once I have read it, now I can do, now the my file is in where? File is in F. Now I can do just f dot read. I'm doing f dot read. Okay, as you can see, it is printing. Hello, this is a quick test file meet AI session. And what is this? Same thing, but what is this? Slash n, you can see, because it's saying after that there's a new line. Okay, there is a next line. Slash n. Okay, escape characters we have seen, right? So that's what it is indicating. So this is how you can read the file. Now, if I try to, okay, now if I try to write, I have read write something. Now I will try to write f dot write writing. If I do this, if I'm trying to write, okay, what it is saying, you can clearly see it is saying unsupported operation, not writable. So it is not allowing to write because I did not open it in the write mode. Clear? Fine. So similarly, as I said, if you want to write something, you should open it in the write mode. Okay. So now I'm opening into the write mode. Okay. Now it is opened. Now I'm writing something. Okay. I'll execute this. So it has written. Okay. Now if I go here, if I refresh this, what I should see here? Tell me this. If I just refresh this, what I should see? Hmm?
Hello, I'm writing.
Hello, I'm writing. Okay, because I'm writing. Okay, so I'm refreshing that. So you will see nothing. Okay, because what happens over here is, this is important. So when I'm writing something, it is writing. That's fine. But until or unless you close the file, the changes will not reflect. Okay, until or unless you close the file, the changes will not reflect. So that is the reason, even after writing, it has written. Actually, it has written because the number 18 which you are seeing here, right? So this is the last index. So if you count all this, this will be 18. So that means now the cursor is at 18th position. Okay, so it has started writing he. Now as you can see, this cursor, okay, now it is in this position because after writing g, it is in after g. So whenever you write something, when you execute that line, it will be writing this data to the file, and the output what it will return over here is just the cursor, the position number. Okay, by this you can understand, okay, it has written something. Okay, but you are not able to see it in the text file because the file is still open. Okay, if the file is still open, you cannot see the changes. So that's why you need to close the file. Okay, to close the file, you need to do f dot close, close, and parenthesis. Okay, now I've closed the file. Now if I go here and if I refresh, you can see hello I am writing, hello I'm writing. Why it has executed two times? Because I've ran this two times. Okay, so if I just open this again in the write mode, observe here, and if I just run this once, okay, so what has happened? Now if I refresh this, it will be only once. Is this clear, guys? Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Sirisha, understanding? Okay, so well, that is one point. Now just guess what it will print if I execute this line f dot read. Take a simple guess. Sirisha said something. I think she unmuted, but I did not hear anything. Are you saying something, Sirisha? No. Are you going to put it in the chat or?
It is in right mode now, so it gives error.
Error. Okay. Good. Okay. So now same thing. Operation on the closed file. Okay. I have closed, right? So now fine. So after writing this, I have closed the file. So on closed file, you cannot do any operation. Okay. So it is saying that. But if I just do this, open, okay, and if I read this, now it is saying not readable. Okay, there are two different errors. One is after writing, if you observe, I was closing the file. So once it is closed, if I try to read, it is saying we cannot do any operations on the closed file. Okay, that is one part. But after opening it in the write mode, if you are trying to read, that is also not possible because you did not open in the proper readable format. Okay, it's not saying not readable. Okay, fine. Now there is one more thing. Now if you see, I am opening this in the write mode. Okay, that's fine. Now I am writing I am first. Okay, and I'm closing the file. Now I'm going here and I'm refreshing this. Okay. Now, as you can see, it is saying I am first. Okay, that is fine. But now observe carefully. If I am after that, I thought, hey, second should also be there, right? So I am opening it again. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I am writing I am second. Now if I run this, if I go here, if I check this, so there is only I am second. See, the first statement got erased. Okay, because in write mode, whenever you are doing with write w, okay, it will always erase the previous data. Okay, it will always erase the previous data. Okay, so fine, we are going to see that in my detail. Okay, don't worry. So let's just quickly cover some points. Okay, so I hope you understood like how you can simply open a file in the read mode and write mode. Okay, and main thing is you need to close the file, okay, every time. And fine, reading will only allow you to read, writing will only allow you to write. Okay, now let's see. There are few properties for you to understand. Okay, so for example, if I'm just opening this test.txt file in write mode, and to get the name, okay, now f is your file. Okay, f is your file. So what file? Txt. So just to know that name, so you can just say f dot name, you will get test.txt. And which mode it is open. Okay, because now you are doing this. Okay, now you are doing this, you will obviously know. But if you're writing a 100 lines program and this operation is happening somewhere in the top, okay, and if you just want to debug and if you're trying to understand, and somewhere in the last like 150th line you're seeing this f. Okay, so sometimes it might be difficult for you to understand what file is in this f and what mode it is open, right? So then sometimes you can put a small print statements, okay, just to have a track of it. Okay, f dot name will give you the file currently which is in there. Or sometimes what you will do, right? So same variable you will use, okay, you for different files. You will say if you will say test1.txt, again in some other place you will do f equal to test2.txt, like that you will try to use it. Instead of trying to unnecessarily create multiple variables, you will use the same if. Okay, sometimes it might be slightly confusing just to understand in this correct situation. So what is a file that is available in this if? Okay, for that you can just do print, okay, and f dot name. Okay, so that it will clearly tell you what is a file that is available. And mode, f dot mode will give you what is the mode it is open. Okay, and obviously it is open in read write mode, so f dot readable will be false. Agree? F dot readable will be false, and f dot writable will be true. Okay, and f dot closed will be false because the file is open. So I'm checking, hey, is it closed? No, it is not closed, that's why it is false. Okay, now if I close the file and if I say now again f dot closed, it is true. Okay, guys, so these are the basic commands which you can use it on the top of the file so that you will know. So almost all the required details you are able to know: the name, what is it, mode. Okay, once you know the mode, obviously you can also understand readable, writable, okay, and closed, whether it is open or closed. Okay, fine. So now let's see writing the data. Okay, as I was just showing, so let's quickly see writing. So let's say I'm opening this file test.txt in the write mode. Okay, and I am writing this. Okay, so open test.txt. Where is my test.txt? Okay, this is my test.txt. Okay, fine, test.txt. Okay, now I am uh, writing this. Okay, so then I'm closing this, I'm opening this two times, it is showing. Okay, because I have written meet AI two times. Okay, so see, now if I don't use this slash n, what happens over here is I'm again opening the write mode, okay, and I'm closing this. Now if I refresh this, it will be writing, okay, attaching to the first sentence, because the cursor will be, once you write MEETAI, so the cursor will be over here, okay. Now if you're writing again, so it will start over here, okay. Just to go to the next line, so you can just do /n, okay. So it will, oh, because I've closed it, I did not open, but I'm trying to write. That's why it's giving error. So first of all, I should again open and again write. Okay. So now if I go over here and if I do the refresh, so it is mid-air. Okay. So that is one thing. Okay. But the problem here is just I was telling you a few minutes back, right? So if I write this, that's fine. Now if I write this, if I try to write some session started, okay. Now if I'm writing this in opening and writing, if I go here, okay, and if I append try to something, say write something, what it is saying, session started, you are able to see. But what about the meet AI? Okay, the file already has the meet AI, right? So that got removed, that got erased. Okay, the reason here is it's important to understand, if you are opening a file in write mode, okay, if you are opening the file in write mode, always it will clear the complete data, okay. Always it will try to clear the complete data, okay. And also if the file is, there is one more point, if the file is already contains some data, that will be overwritten, okay. If the file is not already available, then this will create that file, okay. It will create that file, okay. That means, see here, so we are having, as you can see here, you are having what, we're having test.txt and test0.txt. There are two files, okay. Now I will show you simply. See, now test.txt is already available, okay. And over here, let's say I am writing something, okay. I'm writing ABCDEF, okay. I'm saving this and I'm closing this, okay. For you, just to show you test.txt, I'm having session started ABCDEF, okay. Now I'm coming over here and opening the same test.txt, okay. I'm in write mode, okay. I'm opening this and I am writing, okay, 1 2 3, and over here I'm writing 4 5 6, okay, and I'm closing this, fine. So what's happening over here, if I go here, if I refresh, so the data gone, we have only 4 physics. What happened? Data got overwritten. Okay, data got overwritten. That means the previous data will be completely erased. Only whatever you are giving now, that will be available. Okay, that is one step. And second step, this is on the file which is already existing. Okay, but now if I try to create a file, so let's say we don't have test one, right? So let me create a test one. Okay, I'll create test one, okay, and I will write the same thing, okay. Now if you go here and if you just wait, a test one will be created, okay. So see over here test one, and you can see the time. So okay, always it is a small trick, so you can see the time over here just to know what uh, file is created, okay. Because now you are having only few, but sometimes you'll have like list of a long list of files, okay. So you can go with the time. So here, as you can see, seconds is 0, the last file, the test one, okay. Now if I go over here, it is, it has created the file and added the file. If the file is already present, it will erase that file and add the file. But if the file is not present, it will create the file and it will add the file, okay. So that is, if data will be overridden every time. If file not present, okay, if file not present, it will create the file, clear. But that is difficult, right? So every time you are writing something, if it is erasing the previous data, then what's the point? Okay, that I don't want. In some cases you might want, in some cases you won't want, because let's say that's a month data, okay. After month data, if on October 1st, you when you're writing something, you don't want all the September's data or the previous data, in that case you can go for W, because you just want the October data to stay in the file, okay. But during October, okay, during October 1 2 3, so you want to append the data, you don't want to erase, okay. So in that case, you can go for something called as A stands for appending, W stands for writing, A stands for appending. Appending, what does it will do? It will open an existing file for append operation. Okay, what is append operation? It won't overwrite. Okay, data will not be overwritten. Okay, so but if the specified file is not already available, then this will also create a new file. Okay, same thing what write is doing. If the file is okay, if the file is present, if the file is present, write will override. Okay, append will not override. It will just add it. Appending it is not what adding. Okay, whatever the already data is present, it will start adding to that. Okay, but if the file is not present, both will create the file. Okay, that is there. Okay, so now I will show you. Now, for example, let's see test.txt. I'm having 456, right? So what I'm doing, I'm opening that file in append mode. Okay, I'm opening that file in append mode. Okay, and after that, when I'm opening, so I'm writing uh f dot write. Okay, let me write something. Okay, I'm writing this. Okay, but if I go here, if I refresh, I'm not able to see. Why? Why? Any guess? Why, guys? Even after my appending, I'm not able to see the changes. No, no idea.
Did you close?
Sorry.
Close the file and open.
Yes. So we should close the file. So now if I do f dot close, okay. So if I do this now, if I go here and if I now you can see the changes. Okay. So but yeah, but as you can see, 456 is written over here. After that, you did not give any slash n, right? Because that's why the cursor is here. The cursor is here. So after this only it is writing this 10000. Okay, as you can see over here. But for 123 you are giving slash n. So if you want over here, you can also give slash n. Okay, now I'm okay. Now even though if I give slash n, it will append, right? Fine. So I'll show you. So if I'm opening it in the right mode, okay, I'm writing over here. Okay. Now if I am opening, I'm writing, I'm closing. Okay, now you can see it in perfect way. Okay. Oh, it has opened again. Mm. Oh, this is test and that is test.txt. Oh, okay, fine. So if I what I was doing is I was opening the test file. Okay, I'm writing this. Okay, fine. Now closing and opening this and I'm writing this. I'm closing this. Okay, now test.txt should have in the proper format. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 0. Okay, so that is what it is doing. It will never append. Sorry, it will never overwrite the data. Okay, A stands for appending. Okay, whenever you want to just add. So now what? Now if I open it again in the append mode and if I just write see f dot write data science. Okay, and if you do f dot close, okay, now if you go here, okay, and refresh it, data will be present, no issues, you will have the file. Okay, whatever you write, it will get keep on adding it. Okay, it will not remove it. Okay, so and one more thing you can also do here is you can also directly write uh, some list to the file also. For example, as I'm showing here, so you can create a list. Okay, Google slash and so slash in for new line. So list and I can just do f dot write lines. Okay, let me list f dot. Oh, the file is closed. Okay, so let me open the test.txt and let me create this list, write list, close. Okay, so it will directly append the data. Okay, as you can see, Google, Meta, FB, desktop, it is always adding. Fine. So that is with the append. Now with the append also, what you can do, as I said, if the file is already present, it is doing that. Okay, but now let's see, you have test1.txt, right? So let me create test2, test2.txt. Okay, I'm opening that and I'm writing data since I'm closing. That's it. Okay, now I will come here, I'll just refresh it. Okay, now if I scroll down, as you can see, test2.txt seconds ago it has created. Okay, test2.txt, open here, you have data science. Okay, so append also did the same thing. If the file is present, it is adding. If the file is not present, it is creating. Okay, so these are the two ways how you can write the data. Okay, so is this clear, guys?
It's a
Okay, so fine. So after that, if you want to, next let's say read. Okay, so reading the file, if I want to read the file, there are like different ways how you can read. Okay, so for example, I am I will try to write simply this so that it is easy. Okay, so what I will do, I will open it in the write mode. Okay, I will open it this in the write mode so that I see now what is test.txt. Test.txt is all this. Okay, I don't want all this. This is not proper. I just want Google Meta FB Tesla. Okay, I want everything to be erased. That's why what I'm doing intentionally, I'm opening the file in the write mode. Okay, that means it will erase the complete data. After that, I'm writing only this list using write lines. Okay, we'll see what is this write lines. Okay, but now we are you are oh, sorry. Okay, now I am writing this list. Okay, now if I write this and close this, if I go over here and if I refresh, you can see only this four. Okay, now I have written that. Okay, but now let's see how you can read and access that. Okay, now to read it, what I should do, the file is closed here properly. Fine. So as you can observe, every time when I'm opening, I'm closing. Okay, that's important. Now I'm coming over here, I'm opening the file. Okay, in the read mode. Okay, done. After that, there are different ways how you can read a file. Okay, so first see, let's see what are these. Okay, read, I'm just giving an idea. To read total data. Okay, to read total data, we'll use this. Okay, but now this is read n is read. Okay, first n characters. Okay, we'll use that. And read line, read only one line, so that's why it is read line. Okay, and this is read all lines into a list. Okay, these are different ways depending upon your purpose. Okay, you can use this, but these are the different ways how you can do. Let's see. Now I've opened the data, sorry, I've opened the file. After that, what I'm doing f dot read. F dot read means what it will do, to read total data. Okay, what it is doing, it will read the total data. So we'll see that. So into data, I'm using f dot read. Okay, and let's see data. So I'm doing this. See, as you can see, the complete data is read into this data variable. Okay, see, Google slash n, so it is reading that way. So Google, after that, there is a new line, so that's why it's coming down. Meta, new line. FB, new line. Tesla, this is how it will read. Google slash n is new line. Meta, new line. FB, new line. Tesla, new line. Okay, this is how it is reading. Okay, that is about the read. After that, if you want to read it, read only for like some 10 characters, you can do this. Okay, f dot read 10. Okay, now if you read this, so now see, now this is an important point. So every time when you are reading or writing, the cursor position is important. Where that particular cursor is position is currently present. Okay, from there the operation will be taking. Okay, so you might be having whatever. See, you have this data. Okay, so wherever the cursor is present, okay, from there it will start reading or writing. Okay, that position is very, very important. Okay, so now what has happened in the first step, I have read this f dot read, I had edit. Okay, now what it did, it is giving you all this Tesla till Tesla slash and it has given. Okay, that means what, it has read this, came down, read this, came down, read this, came down. Now it read Tesla, and it is giving slash, and that means the cursor is here. Where the cursor is here, correct? After that what I'm doing, I did f dot read 10. Okay, now from this position, from this cursor position, it should read 10 characters. So there is nothing here, correct? So that's why it is giving you blank. Okay, because when you are saying read, as I said, it will read from that cursor position. Similarly, writing also, it will write, if the cursor is over here, it will write from that position. Okay. So just like how when I'm doing this, when I'm putting the cursor, so right, wherever I'm putting, if I write something, it will write from there, right? Similarly, for the file also in the Python interpreter, wherever the cursor is present, from there the operation read or write will happen. That's why when I read it for the first time, it has read the complete file. And the cursor will be obviously at the end of the file. That means after A, Tesla. And after that, again, if I'm reading, obviously there's nothing over there. So that's why it is giving you blank. Clear? So for this, but if you want to get something, so you need to again open the file. Okay. For example, I'm opening the file. Now, if I'm not doing this, I'm not reading the whole file. I'm just doing f dot read 10. Okay. Now when I'm saying the f dot, when I executed this again, the cursor will come to the first position because I'm freshly opening the file. Okay. Now cursor is here at G. Okay. So that you need to understand the cursor positions. Okay. So that's why if you are trying to do some fresh operation, open the file freshly. Okay, so that's why I'm opening it. Now I'm coming over. I don't want to execute this. I'm executing this. I want to read 10 characters into data, and I'm seeing the data. See, it is giving 10 characters. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10 characters it has given me. And now where is the cursor? Cursor is after T. That means what? After T. Okay, it has read till T. After T the cursor is. Now if I, to show you, now if I do some f dot read of 5. Okay, see what it is printing. 5 characters it is printing. Okay, see, GOOGLE is there. After that META meta is there. After that FB is there, right? So now if you see initial I read 10, that means 1 2 3 4 5 6, and new line slash n will be considered as new line. So this will be 7 8 9 10. Okay, till T 10 is over, 10 completed. After that I am reading more 5. That means what? Now after T till T over, now from here A is 1 slash n is 2 3 4, after this slash n 5. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5, 5 characters it has read. Okay, that's why it is giving you 5. Correct. Now if I read this again, Tesla it is giving. Okay, the complete word Tesla is 5 characters. Okay, now if I try to read this again, there is nothing. Okay, read again, there is nothing. Okay, so that's how wherever the cursor is present, from there it will start to read and write. Clear? So that is how you can do the read characters. Okay, fine. So now read n, write n, right? So let me see. What was that operation? Let me try this. Okay, okay. What was that? Reading right? Okay. If I try to read this, read this, read this. Okay, what if I try to read this? I will read this, and after that, if I just try to ask, okay, then after that, if I try to read this, okay, so, and okay, I need to close the file. Okay. Okay, so when I'm writing, see, I opened it the file in the read and sorry R place, that means read and write. So when I'm able to read it, it is giving the data, and after that when I'm trying to write it, it is also allowing us to write some data also. Okay, so yeah, so here I did not open the file in write mode. As you can see, I've just did the R place mode. Correct. So still I'm able to write because R place is for read and write. Okay, so you can try different things like reading it writing at some specific position, reading it from specific position. Okay, you can do that. Fine. So after that, oh, where was this? Okay. Oh, fine. So fine, we have seen read and okay, and read line X. Okay, read only one line. Okay, so if you want to, fine. So I'm again opening it in okay, read mode. Sorry, opening it in the read mode. Okay, and if you want to read only one line, okay, read only one line. So it will read first line. Okay, whatever line you have, it will only read one line. Okay, read line will only read one line. Okay, now if you do again, it will read another line. Okay, because the cursor will be here, it will read another line. Okay, if you want to read line by line, you can do read line. Okay, but if you want to read all the lines, as I was showing, read lines will give you all the lines. Okay, so now read lines, but what it will put everything into a list. Okay, the output data type is also important. Okay, read all lines into a list. So now f dot read lines will put everything into list. So that's why if I do this, it will be in the list, and you can simply iterate through the list. For I in lines, print I. Okay, so now as you can see, everything is getting printed. Okay, is writing clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so now reading is okay. Now writing is okay. In writing also you have something normal, right, and appending, right? Okay, so that is fine. But here, if you see what is happening in writing mode, okay, let's say you can open it in the write mode, or you can open it in the append mode. Okay, now if the file is present, what is happening? Write is overwriting. Okay, write is overwriting the file. Okay, and append is what it is doing, it is not overriding, it is just appending. Okay, but if the file is not present, it is creating, this is also creating. Okay, that is fine. But sometimes, okay, sometimes what might happen is you don't want to like touch your file, you don't want somebody to touch your file. Okay, so that means, what is my point over here is, if the file is not present, that's fine, you can go and create it. Okay, but if file is already present, okay, that means suppose I am taking test.txt file, I am trying to open. Okay, I'm doing uh file dot, okay, what was a command I should do? Open of, I'm doing test.txt and opening it in the write mode. Okay, but I want to, I'm just giving this name test.txt. But let's say some Meghana has also yesterday created test.txt. Okay, I don't know that she has used the same name. Okay, I just thought of some name and I got test.txt and I'm trying to do this operation. Now, what is the problem over here? If I'm doing if this is file is already present, okay, if this file is not present, then no issues. Okay, if nobody has created this file, then no issues. If I use w also, write mode also, it will create and it will write. If the append also, it will create and it will write. That's fine, because it's not existing. Okay, but as I said, if Megan has already created this w yesterday, sorry, if they created this file yesterday, now if I use the same name, okay, now, and if I use write, what will happen? It will overwrite the file. That means it will completely erase her data. That is one thing. Even if I use A also, it will append the data. Unnecessarily, it will add some unnecessary data. If tomorrow, if she comes and opens and she will not understand who has written this file. Okay, that means the data is not protected. You are able to write it. Okay, but if it is data is not protected. So if at all, if you don't want to fall into the situation, that means if you don't want to write to an existing file, okay, only if the file is not present, if you're able to create, that's fine. But if the file is already present, you don't want to touch that, because it might be some third person's file. So in that scenario, you should open the file in a new mode that is called as X mode. Okay, so open, let's say I'm opening it in test11.txt. Okay, I'm opening it in X mode. Okay, x11.txt, and inside that, okay, as you can see, test11 was never present, right? This has just created now. Okay, seconds ago it got created. Okay, So for example, I'm just selecting that and I'm deleting that. Okay. Now I'm coming that. Okay. Oh, why? Fine. Because the file is open. As you can see, I have opened the file. Okay. That's why it is not allowing me the delete option. Okay. There is one more point you could see. Now I'm closing the file. Okay. I will go here. I'll select this. I'll delete this. Okay, now the file got deleted. Okay, so you might have observed that also when I just opened it and came here and trying to delete, it is not allowing me. Okay, so now what I'm trying to show here is, now there is no test11.txt. There is no test11. As you can see here, I'm coming over here, I'm doing test11.txt. I'm opening it in the X mode. This is important. X mode I'm opening. Okay, and I am writing this is X mode something, and I'm closing. Okay, now if you come over here, okay, and now as you can see, test11 got created just seconds ago. Okay, now if you open this, now as you can see, this is X mode, something is written over here. Okay, that's fine. Now test11 is created. Test11 is created now. Okay, now if I try to again open this, okay, now if I want to again open this in X mode, okay, now see, file exists if it is giving an error, because just now we have created. That means what? X mode is very important, because if the file is already present, it will give you file exist error. It will not touch that. Okay, so that it will make sure that you are not overriding or appending to a already existing file. Same thing it goes for. See, now test.txt is there, right? So if I try to do some operation using X, it will say the same thing. File already exists. Okay, so that's why it is always important, okay, to open in X file if you are not confident if it is already present or not. Fine, so that it will make sure that you are not doing any mistakes by mistake. Fine, so but if you already know, if you want to deliberately want to append or write, you can do that for your will and wish. Okay, but X mode is important in protecting the data. Fine, is X clear, guys? So writing, W, appending, and X, are these three things clear? This will override, this will just append, this will not touch the file if it is already open. But writing, it can also write, it will append the file, it will append. But as you can notice, now X will always try to write it in the new file, right? Indirectly, what does X is saying? I will not touch any already existing file. That means always this guy wants a new file. Okay, that means obviously it will write on the new file. So there is no concept of appending in X, right? Because appending will happen when, because if you already have a file, if there is some data already available, to extend that you will again add some data. Okay, to add that, obviously you should work on some existing data. But X, if you open the data in the X mode, it will not touch the already opened file, already existing file, right? So X will always work on a new file. If the file is not present, it will create and it will add. So that means there is no concept of appending. It will always add the data from the position 1. Okay, so let me know, guys, if these three different modes of writing are clear. Hmm?
That's clear.
Okay. So now, yeah, there is actually one important thing called as with statement. Okay, with statement, because the way actually people how we write is using the with statement. Okay, not like simply how we have written. Now the problem here is the what's the main problem with is trying to solve here is very important. See, till now, as you can see, whenever I am writing some file, okay, or opening or doing something, until or unless I close the file, until or unless I close the file, there are some restrictions that are happening. What are the restrictions I faced? First thing is, as you can observe, I was not able to see the latest changes. Okay, changes were not reflecting, right? Till I close the file, even though the file is writing, but until or unless I close the file, the changes were not reflecting. That is one point. Second thing is, I cannot do any delete operation. Just now I was trying to delete test11, right? But I opened it in the X mode, okay, and I want to just delete it. It's not allowing because it is not yet closed. Okay, so sometimes we might forget to close the file. We might open the file in some read or write mode. We will do read or write. We will do all the operations. And what we will do, we'll just leave that file like that, right? So that will struck the file, okay? And you cannot delete the file. Somebody, some other person cannot use the file, right? Because it is already open and you did not close the file, okay? So that might cause some issues. To solve that, we have the with statement, okay? So with statement comes by default with the closing option, okay? By default it will have the closing option, so that's why it is very helpful, okay? Always and always it is highly recommended to write or to perform all the operations using the with statement, okay? That's how we usually do in the actual projects, okay? So now if you see, if you want to write something, okay, so now I'm showing. So you might have observed, okay, so now see there is a small change. I'll show you so that it will be clear. See what I'm doing. I'm opening test.txt in the write mode. I'm saying session started, and if let's say I'm not closing the file, okay, I've just done this. I'm going here test, okay, I am just refreshing it. There is nothing here. Why? Because now you might be able to understand, the moment when I open it in the write mode, its job is to erase all the data. That's why the earlier Google whatever it is written over there, so that got completely erased, okay, that got completely erased. After that, what happened? First step is erase. After that, session started is it is writing. It is actually written, but the we did not close the file. That's why the changes are not reflecting yet. Okay, we did not close the file. That's why even though after writing the file, the data is present, but we are not able to see because the file is not closed, right? So that's the reason you are not able to see. Now, if I uncomment this, if I run this, okay, now if I run this, you are closing the file properly. So now you can see the session started message. Okay, but that will be the issue. If you are doing it simply without any with statement, okay, sometimes you might forget because you will write multiple things, right? So you will write something in that line number 14, you will write again, you will write somewhere in the line number 50 or 20 or somewhere you will write. So sometimes you will lose track to close the file, right? So that's why you should have a habit of doing with the same thing what I'm doing with open. Same thing what I'm doing it in with. So the format is syntax is with, you should write and open the file, okay, and you should open it as some file, okay, if the same if what I'm doing, using it this way, okay, with open file as f. Now f dot write, okay, f dot write. So now I'm writing, so on time it started, okay, something I'm writing, okay, I'm writing. And now as you can see, the moment when I'm opening the file in the write mode, it will delete all this data. That's fine. After that, I'm writing this data on time. It started. Now it is writing this data. Now, as you can see, I'm not using any f dot close. I'm not closing it any other way. I'm just writing it and I'm leaving it. Okay. So ideally, now you should be able to understand. Ideally, if at all the file is not closed, this changes should not be reflected, because here I've clearly shown you only after closing the file that these changes are reflecting. Okay, before I was not closing this, the page was completely blank, right? That means if you are able to see the data, that means the file is closed, right? Same here, now I am executing this, right? And I did not close the file, but still you will be able to see this on time it started. Okay, on time it started, right? And that's because the file got automatically closed. Okay, the file got automatically closed. How you can confirm this in one more way? Using this command. Okay, file dot closed we have, right? File dot closed. Okay, sorry, file dot closed true. See, if you are just still doubting whether the file is closed, you can just say file dot closed. Okay, but here if you do, see here, I will do this. I will just uncomment this. If I'm writing this, it has written the file. Now if I do file dot closed, false. See, okay, that means file is not closed. But now if I just uncomment this and if I run this, now if I just close this, it is true. That's why I should write explicitly, I should write f dot close. But here if I do this, I'm just writing with open file, and after writing, the moment when it comes out, okay, the moment when it comes out, see, I'll show you. Print f dot close, okay, now print See, it is very clear. It has opened the file in the write mode. It has written something. Okay. Inside the file is not closed. F dot closed is false here. Okay. Because as long as the command is inside this with statement, okay, the file is not closed. It's open. Fine. The moment when it come after completing this step, it will come outside. The moment it comes outside, automatically the file will close. That's why it is saying f dot close is true. That's why I am clearly showing the print statements. In first print is false because the file is not closed, because it is still in the with loop. If you call this with loop in this inside indentation, but the moment it comes out, if I print this, it is saying the file is closed, but I did not close it. It will automatically close. That is the very important of advantage of which statement. Okay, always you should do same operations you are going to do what all we have studied till now, write mode, read mode, everything you can do with which statement. The only thing is you should write it in using the with format, with syntax. You should do with open as f. That's all you can do. What all we have read, f dot read, f dot write, read lines, everything you can do. The advantage is it will automatically close it. You don't need to again worry about closing the file. Okay, without closing the file is a serious issue, because other persons cannot access it and it will create some pipeline breakage issues. Okay, so that's why it is highly recommended to go with the with. Okay, so that is one thing. And we have just one small concept called as seek and tell. So that's why I think you might have understood by now that the position of the cursor is very, very important, because where our cursor is available. Okay, so that's why to understand where is our cursor, okay, so you can use these syntaxes. For example, tell will tell you where your cursor is exactly. Okay, for example, I'm saying I'm opening, what is this, test.txt, what is in test.txt? Okay, this is there. Okay, I'm opening this. Okay, and I'm reading f.tell. Initially, when I open this file, the cursor will be in the starting position, whose index is 0. Obviously, it is saying f.tell means tell what? Tell the cursor position. Okay, just to know. So that's what it is saying. After that, what I am doing, after that I am saying f dot read. Okay, f dot read, I'm reading 2 characters. Okay, I am reading 2 characters. Now the cursor will be at what position? 2, right? Now if I again say f dot tell, I'm getting 2. Now the position is at the second position. Okay, now let's say I am reading next 5 characters. Sorry, 5 characters. So that means it is reading something called as time over here. Then again I'm saying, hey, tell me where is my cursor now. Okay, now it is saying at the 7th position, because 5 plus 2 7th position. So time after time it is at the 7th position. Okay, so to know exactly where your cursor is, you can use what you can use tell command. Okay, and after that the seek. Okay, seek is used. Okay, so seek, what it will do, see, it will try to give you the take you to the position. Okay, so seek means tell will tell you, seek will take you to that particular position. Okay, for example, I am going to 3. Okay, and after that 3, and after that I'm reading 5. Okay, see what I'm doing. Tell is just telling you, right? But let's say first I'll show you here. I'm telling open, and I'm telling what is my position? 0 position, obviously. Fine, I'm reading 5 characters. So it has read the 5 characters. Fine, now what is my position? My position will be tell position is 5. Fine, that is fine. Now I want to take the position to, let's say, position 1. Okay, now I will say seek of 1. Okay, now the position will be at the 1. And if I start reading this, as you can see, from 1 it is starting at n. Position is 1, right? From n it is starting. Okay, now it has read what? It has read 5 characters. It has read. After that, if I read, it will be 6, because 1 plus 5 6. Are you getting, guys? Tell is just to tell, this is a position. Now what is 6? I am at the 6th position in the file. I am at the 6th position. Okay, now if I want to change the position to number 3 somewhere, I want to go to the some index 3. Okay, so I will just go the position. I'll say, hey, go to 3rd position. Seek is we are changing the position. Okay, I'm saying, hey, go 3rd position. Okay, it is saying I'm in the 3rd position. How you know this is a 3rd position? If you do f dot tell, it is a 3rd position. Okay, still if you want to read, still if you want to confirm, let's say I want to read some 4 characters. Now means what? From 3rd position I want to read. I'm just printing. See, 3rd position is what? 3rd position is this. Okay, from here it is reading 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from third position, okay, it is already at the third position. It is reading TIMA, time, 4 characters it is reading. 4 characters it is reading. Okay, and if I just want to read 2 characters more, after time, it is reading two parameters, sorry, characters, E and slash, sorry, space. Correct. So now if I ask it to tell 9 position, so that means from starting it is at the 9th position. Tell will tell you that. If I go back to some what is T is at the 4th position. 0 1 2 3, T is at the 4th position. If I just go back to 4th position, I can just say, hey, go back to 4th position, f dot seek. Okay, now, okay, it went to 4th position. How we will know? I will just read. Okay, now the position is at T, right? Now position is at T. Now if I read some 3 characters, it is giving IME, right? It is already at T. After T, it will read 3 positions, IME. Clear? Now IME. Now what is IME? Now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now this E is at the 6th position. Okay. Now if I do T dot tell, after 6 we will get 7. See, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. After 6 you will get the 7th position. Okay. So tell will always tell you the where exactly your cursor is at present. Okay, where exactly the cursor is present, it will tell you. And seek will, if you want to take the cursor somewhere, you can play with the cursor wherever you want to put it, place it, it will place it over there. Again, from there you can read it. If you are getting it right, it is already written. Okay, I want to write something over here. I want to write something over here. So seek it, seek the position here, write something. Okay, and after that what we are going to do, you will read something. Okay, and you will ask the position and seek, go here, seek it, come back, like that. Okay, are you getting? Are you getting, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, okay, oh, I should close the file. I should close the file. Yeah, I have opened the file, read it, and written it must. Okay, so fine, I think you can experiment. You can try to play with it and try to write some must in the starting position or second position or third position. Okay, you can just check that and let me know how it's feeling. Fine. So as I said, the cursor position is important. So that's why seek and tell are very, very important. So if you're mainly working with the .txt files. Okay. So fine. So that's all for today, I would say. So these are the parameters. Okay. Simple concepts. Tomorrow we are going to see how you can just handle the .csv files. Okay. With CSV files, how you can operate and play with that. And then there is one important concept in Python, which is also very helpful in machine learning, which is called pickling. Okay. It's called pickling. Pickling, pickling. Okay, all the models. Okay, whenever you are creating machine learning models, uh, you will save it in the pickle format. Okay, you will save it in the pickle format, and again you will load it from the pickle format. Okay, there is how you can read. This is one more way of reading and writing a file. Okay, that is a pickling file. Okay, we are going to see that, and we'll try to wrap the file handling tomorrow, and we'll start something called as decorator. Okay, and a few concepts. As I said, we are going to wrap the Python this week, right? So yeah, let's join today, tomorrow at same time, and next week let's freshly start stats. Okay, fine. So that's all from my end, guys. Let's meet tomorrow if you don't have any doubts.
Sure.